Kakadosh Boker Tov, Shavua Tov. We're just going to continue with the halachot of Pirkei Avot. We are on Perek Bet Mishnah Daled, where it's written, Al tifrosh min tsibur. You're not so supposed to separate from the Tzibbur. So now there's a lot of halachot exactly what does this mean, Al tifrosh min tsibur. We know that if everyone's standing up, you shouldn't be sitting down. Everyone's sitting down, you shouldn't be standing up. There are many different halachot, right, to do with this concept of Al tifrosh min tsibur. I'll bring down one facet, which is that it says in the Torah, Lo titgodedu. The Rambam is posek, Bichlal azara ze shelo yu shne bate dinim ba'ir achat, ze noe כמנהג זה וזה כמנהג אחר, שדבר זה גורם למחלוקת גדולה שנאמר לא תתגודדו, לא תעשו אגודות, which means that there's an avera to come and to cause two different minhagim in the city. What does that mean, two different minhagim? Imagine right now you would have two different places that they have two different minhagim. If you're going to have such a thing, it causes strife. Why? Because you have some people doing one thing, other people doing other things. So because of this is called lo titkadu, don't make different groups, and therefore a person should be careful not to do this. The chinuch comes and he says, in the name of his rabbi, Eni suzela bechavura achat. He says that's only if it's going to be one group. Shechalukin miksatan aksatan ve'en shavim b'choma, that they're both equal in wisdom, and they have two different groups, that you're not allowed to come and make a machlok between them. But if you have two different batei dinim and they're equal in wisdom, they're allowed to. So therefore it comes out that when you have in the city two different batei dinim kvuim, each one is allowed to do their own minagim. But when we're talking about chilukei minagim between different places, which means you're traveling from one place to another place, you have to be noheg according to the chumrah of the place where you went out, right? And the chumrah where you're going. And if you're going to come and to move there, then you change lekula. So for example, let's say I'm going to Eretz Yisrael. And Eretz Yisrael, they have a certain minhag. I cannot come and be lenient like my minhag in Chutz La'aretz in Eretz Yisrael. Or, for example, I'm going to another place. It doesn't matter where I'm going. I have to actually be stringent according to my minhag, where I'm from, plus their minhag. Why? I cannot do their minhag to be lenient because I don't live there. And I have to do my minhag to be stringent because that's where I live. Now, when I go there, I still have to do my chumrah. I still have to do my things. I cannot be lenient like them. If I come and I move there, then I could start being also lenient like them. But then it comes out, I would have to do two different stringencies, where I came from and what they do there. Because even though in my house, in my hometown, they're lenient, I cannot go to another country or another place and start being lenient in front of them if they have a minhag to be machmir. So the Stechem actually comes and he brings the machlok rishonim, right? If it's that it shouldn't look like two different Torot or different machlokot, so the nafkamina is it going to be only in halachot or also to do with minagim? And then we're going to speak about, okay, what about tefillah? Why? We know there's a concept of Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. So now, do they have to change their tefillah or not? So he comes and he brings down as follows. In the name of Rosh Zalman Auerbach, he says, La'alacha Sfaradi, that he's learning in Ashkenazi yeshiva, or the opposite, he does not have to change his minagim. Or a person is going to be kovea makom letfilato b'beit hakneset. What happens if you're going to come and you're going to choose a certain synagogue? And he says that there the nusach is different from his father's nusach. So for example, you've got a person, nusach Sfarad or Sfaradi in a beit hakneset, that there's the nusach Ashkenaz, or the other ways around. They do not change their nusach. However, though, the things which are said out loud, for example, the Kiddusha, whether it's going to be other parts of the Tefillah as well, Al tifrosh min tsibur, right? Just like the Seder Siyum Tefillah, if he's going to come and say Alelu L'Shabeach after Uva Letzion or after En Kelohenu, he should do the minhag of the Tzibbur. Why? If you right now have a Tzibbur, so then you're right, your own personal nusach, that you're going to do your own personal nusach. But other than that, you have to actually go like a minhag hamakom. Just like that says the Shut Minchat Yitzchak, if the Shatz is Ragil Yitpalel B'Nusach Shonem HaTzibur. What happens if you have a Shliach Tzibbur? And he has a different Nusach from the Tzibbur. He has a different version, meaning that, for example, let's say I'm going to go to Ashkenazi Bet Knesset, and now I want to be Shliach Tzibbur for whatever reason it is. So now you have to pray the Chazarat HaShatz, obviously like the Nusach of the Tzibbur. Obviously you have to pray the Nusach of the Tzibbur in itself. And the Tfilah Belachash, you're allowed to come and you're allowed to pray in your tefillah. However, Rav Moshe Feinstein says no. He says he's wrong. He says why? Says Rav Moshe Feinstein, even your tefillah belachash on that day, meaning your quiet amidah, you have to pray like the tzibur. He says, why? He says something incredible. He says the entire purpose of what the shliach tzibur is mitpalel tefillah belachash is in order to prepare his tefillah for the tefillah out loud. Like the Magen Avraham says in Siman Kuf Kav Daled, Sif Katan Gimel. So therefore, if he's going to pray belachash his own nusach, meaning he's going to pray quietly his own nusach, when he comes up there to be shliach tzibur, again he's going to make the same mistakes. So therefore, he has to pray, right, again, like the quiet one. But the Minchat Yitzchak, he says, no, that you could, right, since you pray within a siddur, we're not going to start suspecting, right, whether you're going to make a mistake or not. So it actually comes out of machloket between Rav Moshe Feinstein and the Minchat Yitzchak. If you're shliach tzibur in a Ashkenazi Bet Knesset, when you're saying the quiet amidah, can you pray your own amidah, or you have to pray like them? Okay, so that's going to be important. But then he comes and he says, right, also there's going to be an entire question to do with the Askarat Hashem. So because of that, a person just has to understand, whenever it's written the mitzvah of Al Tifrosh Min HaTzibur, right, you have a tzibur, they're all doing something. For example, they're all fasting, right, they're all going to a certain thing. Never separate. Why is it that you're going to have that some people are coming, whether it's that we're all going to a certain shiur, right, and other people they're doing other things, right, or a person should always be part of the tzibur. When a person's going to be part of the tzibur, then they have the bracha of everything that happens with the tzibur will also partake on them as well.